Well, you try to just always evaluate the substance afresh. So, does the technology work? You can ask questions about what's the prehistory of the founders. Have they been working together for a while? Are they going to give up at the first sign of trouble? So I think you want to always focus on the substance. There are no shortcuts. There's always a temptation to come up with all sorts of sort of one-sentence rules, and we're as guilty of that as anybody. But I think what's gone best is you find something interesting about it, and then you try not to get to a yes or no decision right away. You try to really understand the substance, keep an open mind, and understand that. So substance over process every time. You always want to get the team, the technology, and the business strategy. So you have to get all three of those to work. And so if people want to talk about the technology, we'll talk about the people and the business strategy. So you go to the other two topics if they don't want to talk about them that much. I do think that there's something generally good about technology and generally very positive about this as an industry. I'm obviously a little bit biased, but I do really believe that. I think philanthropy is an area that deserves to also be rethought, and I always like asking these contrarian questions. And so if the contrarian question business is, what great company is nobody starting? In philanthropy, the contrarian question I think is always something like, what great cause does nobody want to support? And so I always, one of the questions I always like to ask is, why is a cause unpopular? I don't want to give money to popular causes. I feel those are well enough funded. I think it's the unpopular causes that deserve to get more. What's unusual about the tech industry in Silicon Valley is that the inventors are capturing anything at all. The history of innovation has been one where most of the people who invent things get nothing at all. And so the Wright brothers came up with the first airplane but didn't get rich. Or even the original Edison versus Tesla. You could say Tesla was the greater inventor and that was the better way to go, but somehow Edison edged out Tesla. And so most of innovation has actually not gone to the people who came up with things. You have to make money, you have to do two things. Number one, you have to create something of value for the world. And number two, you have to capture some fraction of the value you create. And often people have completely failed at doing the second. So I think Silicon Valley is very unusual in that there's this large class of innovative people that are actually able to capture some fraction of the value they're creating. And I always would say that you want to make a difference for the better in a way that's not just looking for status, not just in a respectable way, but people should try to be courageous in their philanthropy just as they're courageous when they started a company.